Are you secretly living a life of financial struggle, despite having a steady income and all the outward appearances of success? The truth is, most of us are just one or two major financial setbacks away from disaster, and yet we often don't even realize it until it's too late. In fact, a recent study by the Federal Reserve found that nearly 40% of Americans couldn't cover a $400 emergency expense without going into debt or selling something. That's a staggering number, and it's a clear indication that many of us are living on the edge, financially speaking. But what's even more disturbing is that many of these people are making what would be considered a good income, and yet they're still struggling to make ends meet. So what's going on here? Is it just a matter of bad luck, or is there something more insidious at play? The answer, according to researchers like Dr. Elizabeth Dunn, a psychologist at the University of British Columbia, is that many of us are making unconscious financial decisions that are quietly sabotaging our chances of achieving long-term financial stability. In her study, published in the journal Science, Dr. Dunn found that people who were given a small amount of money to spend on themselves were actually happier and more fulfilled than those who were given a larger amount to spend on material possessions. This is a fascinating insight because it suggests that our brains are wired to respond more positively to experiences and personal connections than to material goods. And yet, many of us continue to prioritize buying stuff over investing in ourselves and our relationships. Another study, this one by Dr. Daniel Kahneman, a Nobel Prize-winning economist at Princeton University, found that people tend to overvalue the things they already own and undervalue the things they don't. This is known as the endowment effect, and it can lead us to make all sorts of irrational financial decisions, from holding onto a losing stock to overspending on luxury items. But what's really interesting is that these biases are often operating beneath the surface of our conscious awareness, which means we may not even realize we're making these mistakes until it's too late. So, how can you tell if you're secretly poor, and what are the signs that you need to watch out for? Well, one of the biggest red flags is if you're consistently living paycheck to paycheck, with no safety net or emergency fund to fall back on. This is a classic sign of financial instability, and it can be a major source of stress and anxiety in your life. According to a study by Dr. Brad Klontz, a financial psychologist at Creighton University, people who are struggling financially are more likely to experience anxiety, depression, and other mental health problems. And it's not just the lack of money itself that's the problem. It's the sense of uncertainty and insecurity that comes with it. When you're living on the edge, financially speaking, you can't help but wonder what's going to happen next and whether you'll be able to pay your bills on time. This can be a huge source of stress, and it can actually make it harder for you to make good financial decisions in the long run. Now, another sign that you might be secretly poor is if you're consistently prioritizing short-term gratification over long-term financial stability. This can take many forms, from overspending on luxury items to neglecting to save for retirement or other big goals. And it's not just about the money itself, it's about the mindset and the habits that you're cultivating. When you prioritize short-term pleasure over long-term stability, you're essentially training your brain to value instant gratification over delayed rewards. This can be a hard habit to break, and it can have serious consequences for your financial future. For example, if you're not saving for retirement, you may be forced to work longer than you want to, or to rely on others for support. And if you're not saving for big goals, like a down payment on a house or a college education, you may be forced to go into debt or to put your goals on hold. But here's the thing. These patterns of behavior are often deeply ingrained, and they can be hard to change. That's why it's so important to become aware of your own thought patterns and habits, and to start making conscious choices about how you want to live your life. According to Dr. Charles Duhigg, a psychologist at the Harvard Business School, the key to changing your behavior is to identify the keystone habits that are driving your financial decisions, and to start making small changes in those areas. For example, if you're in the habit of overspending on luxury items, you might try implementing a 30-day waiting period before making any non-essential purchases. This can help you to break the cycle of instant gratification and to start prioritizing your long-term financial goals. And if you're not saving for retirement or other big goals, you might try setting up automatic transfers from your checking account to your savings or investment accounts. This can help you to build the habit of saving and to make progress towards your goals without even thinking about it. As we explore these silent money mistakes that keep people poor for decades, it's clear that there are many complex factors at play. From the way our brains are wired to respond to financial stress, to the cultural and societal pressures that drive our spending habits, there are many obstacles to overcome. But the good news is that awareness is the first step towards change, and by becoming more mindful of our own thought patterns and habits, we can start to break free from these patterns of behavior. And that's exactly what we'll be exploring in the second half of this video, as we dive deeper into the 7 signs that you're secretly poor and what you can do to turn your financial situation around. So, if you're ready to take control of your finances and start building the life you want, then keep watching, because we're just getting started and the most important insights are yet to come, as we explore the ways in which our own minds can be our worst financial enemies, and how we can use this knowledge to our advantage by making conscious choices about how we spend, save, and invest our money, and by cultivating the habits and mindset that will serve us well in the long run, rather than holding us back. Now that we've explored the psychology behind our spending habits, let's dive deeper into the signs that you might be secretly poor without even realizing it. For instance, a study published in the Journal of Consumer Research by researcher Dr. Elizabeth Dunn found that people who spent money on experiences, like travel or learning a new skill, were more likely to feel fulfilled and happy than those who spent on material possessions. This is because experiences create lasting memories and personal growth, whereas material goods often lose their value over time. Think about it. When was the last time you bought something that truly made you happy versus the last time you did something that made you feel alive? This mindset shift is crucial, as it can help you allocate your resources more effectively. For example, instead of buying a new car, you could use that money to take a road trip across the country, creating lifelong memories with your loved ones. Or, instead of spending thousands on a luxury watch, you could invest in a course that teaches you a new skill, like photography or cooking. These experiences not only bring joy, but also provide a sense of accomplishment and personal growth. Another sign that you might be secretly poor is living paycheck to paycheck, without any safety net or emergency fund. According to a study by researcher Dr. Annamaria Lusardi, about 40% of Americans don't have enough savings to cover a $400 emergency expense. This means that a single unexpected event, like a car breakdown or medical bill, can send them into a downward spiral of debt and financial stress. To avoid this, it's essential to build an emergency fund that covers at least 3 to 6 months of living expenses. This fund will provide a cushion in case of unexpected events, allowing you to stay afloat without going into debt. Now, let's talk about some practical steps you can take to break free from these silent money mistakes. First, start tracking your expenses to see where your money is going. You can use a budgeting app or simply write down every purchase in a notebook. This will help you identify areas where you can cut back and allocate your resources more effectively. For instance, you might be surprised to find out that you're spending hundreds of dollars each month on subscription services you don't even use. By canceling these services, you can free up more money in your budget for things that truly matter to you. Second, make a plan to pay off high-interest debt, such as credit card balances or personal loans. This can be a daunting task, but it's crucial to getting back on track financially. Consider consolidating your debt into a lower-interest loan or balance transfer credit card, and then create a debt repayment plan that works for you. You can also try the snowball method, where you pay off smaller debts first to build momentum and confidence. Third, start building wealth by investing in a retirement account, such as a 401k or IRA. This may seem like a long-term goal, but the power of compound interest can work in your favor over time. Even small, consistent contributions can add up to a significant nest egg, providing you with financial security and peace of mind in the future. For example, if you start investing just $100 per month in your 20s, you could have over $100,000 by the time you retire, thanks to the power of compound interest. Lastly, educate yourself on personal finance and investing. There are countless resources available online, from blogs and podcasts to books and courses. By learning more about money management and investing, you can make informed decisions that align with your financial goals and values. For instance, you could learn about tax-advantaged accounts, such as Roth IRAs or 529 plans, which can help you save for specific goals like retirement or education expenses. To illustrate the importance of financial education, let's consider the story of Dave Ramsey, a well-known personal finance expert who went from being bankrupt to becoming a millionaire. He achieved this by creating a budget, paying off debt, and investing in his future. His story is a testament to the power of financial knowledge and discipline. By following his principles and applying them to your own life, you can achieve financial freedom and live a more fulfilling life. In addition to education, it's essential to have a support system in place, whether it's a financial advisor, a mentor, or a community of like-minded individuals. Having someone to hold you accountable and provide guidance can make a significant difference in your financial journey. For example, you could join an online forum or social media group focused on personal finance, where you can connect with others who share your goals and challenges. As you start to apply these principles to your life, you'll begin to notice a shift in your mindset and behavior. You'll become more mindful of your spending, more intentional with your savings, and more confident in your ability to achieve financial freedom. And that's when the magic happens, when you start to break free from the silent money mistakes that have held you back for so long. So, take control of your finances today by making a few small changes. Start by reviewing your budget, paying off debt, and investing in your future. Remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about making progress, one step at a time. And if you're looking for more guidance and support, there are countless resources available to help you on your journey. If this helped you think about money differently, subscribe. I post new finance insights every single day. And if you want to go even deeper, check the link in the description for I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. It changed how millions of people think and act.